Thank you so much, Janet, for the introduction. So I'm going to start by saying, big thank you to yourself, David, and your team for making this happen. It's very important, especially in this current environment that we find ourselves with inflation and rising interest rates, that households, have resources like Prosper Canada to turn to for information and all types of resources that can help them manage their finances and budgets a bit better. So my name is Faith Biapo, and I'm with TD Bank. I'm a regional manager for Black Community Business Development. We are a group of regional managers across the country, and our focus at TD is to support the Black community to make sure that we provide all sorts of trusted advice, banking needs, financial needs, or loan to this community, whatever the community may need to achieve, or community members may need to achieve their financial goals. That's why we've been put together as a team. So I have my colleague Obed here. Also, I'm going to pass it on to him so he can also introduce himself and say a little bit about our team.
Thank you, Faith. A warm welcome to all of you. We are very happy and excited to have you here today. My name is Obed Boating. I'm also a regional manager for the Black Customer Business Development, specifically for the Greater Ontario region. And so those of you who are a little bit geographically savvy, I cover all the way from Tender Bay down to the Windsor border. With the exception of the GTA. So that is my coverage. We are happy to have you here because we believe that as a bank, one of the things that we can do to help grow the Black customer situation is by providing the financial literacy that we need. Once we have, good information, it will help us to make those sound financial judgments. And that is why we are proud to partner with Prosper Canada to come to you guys to deliver this exceptional introduction to financial planning in their space. So thank you and enjoy the ride.
Great. Thank you, Faith and Obed. And I'm going to introduce myself and my colleague, David. As was mentioned, we're from Prosper Canada. I'm really excited today to be here to introduce you to a lot of the free tools and resources that you can use to help learn and become more aware of the intricacies of finance and to help you manage your money in the way you would like to. So my colleague David and myself, we're both senior program officers at Prosper Canada, and we're in a department called the Program Delivery and Integration Department. And David focuses on all the technology related aspects of our financial empowerment tools. And one of them that he is responsible for is the Benefits Wayfinder, which will be live demoing for you today. Myself, I work with community partners and I help them embed different types of financial empowerment initiatives into their existing services. And I've also been involved in the development of the Benefits Wayfinder and also another companion tool called the Disability Benefit Compass, which will also give you a sneak peek for today. So first, we'd like to start by giving a land acknowledgement. So we acknowledge that we're joining you today from Toronto, which is situated upon traditional territories. The territories include the Wendat, the Anishinaabeg Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nations, and the Métis Nation. Toronto is in the Dish with One Spoon territory, and the Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and the Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and to protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. Today, the meeting place of Toronto is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are very grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community on this territory. So what are we going to take you through today? We're really, really excited. First, we'll have an introduction by TD Bank on the next slide, and then we'll tell you just a little bit about who Prosper Canada is and who we are. We're going to take you through the goals of what we're hoping to achieve today, take you through some key benefits that you may or may not already be aware of, and if you are aware, it'd be a nice refresher for you. And then we're going to introduce some free tools for you. We have what's called a learning hub. We have a bunch of toolkits that you can use, and another one called Trove. And then we'll get into a live demo on how you can use these tools called the Benefit Wayfinder and the Disability Benefits Compass to search for benefits or do a health check on the benefits that you already do receive, just to make sure that you're getting everything that you're entitled to. We hope to have times for questions and answers. If by chance we run out of time or if we don't get to all the questions, we will be supplying answers and responses to those questions afterwards, along with the recording of this session, which we're recording for educational resource and for those who are missing the session. We'll then tell you a little bit about some free financial empowerment training that you can take and other resources and how to contact us, both TD Bank and ourselves, if you have any follow-on questions or any more information you'd like to hear about. So I'll just pass it back to Faith, just to tell us a little bit about TD Bank.
Thank you so much, Jeanette. TD is a big bank. I'm sure we've all encountered TD at some point, so we're quite familiar with most of the bank's products and services. But something some people may not know is that in 2020, the bank decided to launch a new segment called the Black Customer Experience Business Segment, which is a segment that essentially focuses on the Black community. And this came off of unfortunately, the death of George Floyd, who was murdered in the United States. So this brought about a deep reflection within the bank. There's always been ongoing conversations, but that one incident actually, gave a lot of impetus to us as a bank, moving quickly to set up this segment, which focuses on both personal business banking for the Black community and also wealth management as well. So our mandate is to essentially deliver the bank, to the Black community. We've since then gone on to launch several products, participate in several community events and activities to promote the bank's commitment to the Black community. We have a new product in the market, but I'll pass it on to Obed. Maybe he can also chime in and also elaborate maybe on our latest product that we have for Black entrepreneurs. Obed, you're on mute. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Faith. We are very happy that we can come to our community partners, our people, to say, TD, we don't just say, but we walk the talk. And so we came up with this product that is dedicated to Black entrepreneurs that are starting up, which is called the Black Entrepreneurship Credit Access Program. Now, the beauty of this program is that TD understand that there is, some difficulties in accessing credit in the normal space. And so we created this program having that lens that we will look at what we call qualitative assessment with respect to the quantitative assessment, which everybody goes through. What I mean by this is typically when you go to a branch to apply for credit, they will look at your credit score, they will look at your income, and then they will do some variations and tell you this is how much you could qualify. What makes this program different is that apart from those quantitative numbers, we look at the qualitative aspect, which is what is the impact of the job that you're seeking to do in the Black community? What is the bigger intent? And so we can leverage that to offset if there is any lapses in the quantitative aspect. So let's say an example is somebody is on the line today thinking about palliative care, for the Black people. It's something that is not done in our folks. It's more like the bigger companies that will employ people to do it. And so the bank is saying that, okay, if you're taking on this project in the Black community, what is the bigger impact? If we support you today, you'll be able to provide that help for Black people because they'll feel comfortable when you walk into their homes to provide that kind of services. And so we look at the bigger impact of the project you want to do vis-a-vis the quantitative, which is, your income, your credit at that point in time, and also gives us, I would say, a second pair of eye to look at your application one more time. And so I think this is a unique way. And so if you are here today, take the time, check our system, our website, the Black Entrepreneurship Access Program. There's a quick intake form. Once you get in there, I'll be able to put your name forward. One of us, including like the other regional managers, depending on where you find yourself, will be in touch and will be able to support you. Like once again, I said, we walk the talk. We are not just the ordinary at the bank that will just say we have this, but we are creating things that will help make a meaningful impact in the Black community. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much, Faith and Obed. So we'll tell you a little bit about Prosper Canada in case you haven't heard about us. We were founded in 1986 and we're a national charity, and we're mostly dedicated to expanding the economic opportunity for Canadians, specifically Canadians living on low income, but a lot of our programs and services really go beyond just that. And we work with partners in all sectors, and our goal is to ensure that all Canadians, regardless of their income, have access to the financial programs, products, services, and advice that they need to be able to build their financial well-being. So we're excited to show you some of those tools today that we hope will help with your financial well-being. So our session goals are to explore a variety of our free financial tools and resources, which can help you help your own finances, and make sure that you're equipped to be able to use these tools and share them with those who you think might also benefit from them, either friends or family or colleagues. So first, what we'd like to do is just tell you a bit about some key federal benefits that are available. And you may have heard of all of these, and it might be not new news, but it could be a refresher. And perhaps some of them you might have heard of, but you don't know really a lot about them. So I'm not going to spend too much time. All the links that you'll see in the presentation that you'll get a copy of go directly to the source information. So you can go and learn about more about it from those links. But for investment purposes, and I'm sure that our TD folks can help you greatly with these, is the registered retirement savings plan. So would have heard of the RRSP, and this is really to help you save for your long-term financial security, and you're able to contribute into that RRSP once you open it up until the year that you turn 71. So right till the end of that year. And I'll tell you on the next page, I'll tell you about your contribution limit, but it's a calculation based on how much money that you earn will determine how much you are able to put into an RRSP each year. So if you haven't done that already, and it's something that you think that you have some savings, it would definitely be something to look into. The Register Education Savings Plan, it's actually surprising how many people aren't aware of this, but this helps you save for your child's post-secondary education. And what's really nice about this is when you open this, the government can also contribute to your ESP through two different vehicles. One is called the Canada Education Savings Grant, and there's a lifetime limit where they'll contribute up to $7,200. And then there's the Canada Learning Bond, and it's up to $2,000 per child. So even if you are not able to put too much money into that, the bond will be contributed on your behalf. So it's really something that if you haven't opened that up, if you have a child, please look into that. Another one that's really good savings vehicle is the tax-free savings account, or the TFSA. And this was opened by the government back in 2009. And it's a way that if you're 18 and older, you can set aside money tax-free as long as you have that open. And what we mean by that is if you put the money into the TFSA and it earns interest, or it grows in value, you will never be taxed on that increased value. And even if you take the money out of it, you will not be taxed. So it's a really nice way to reduce your tax amount that you might have to pay. And also it can be really a great vehicle to be used as an emergency fund, because you can take that money out. Whereas the RRSP, if you take money out of that, because it's really intended for long-term savings, you will have to pay tax on it when you take that out. So TFSA is definitely something you should have at a minimum, along with potentially an RRSP. And then the RDSP, this is specifically savings plan for people living with a long-term permanent disability. And to be able to open one of these, you first have to get what's called a disability tax credit certificate. And that's another designation that you would need to apply for before you could open an RDSP. But again, it's if it's someone that you know, either yourself or family member or a friend who has a disability and they don't have an RDSP, it's something you should at least be aware of, and make sure that you open it, because the government as well does a matching grant and it contributes $1,000 per year into that, up to a maximum of $20,000. So that's a lot of money to, not be getting if you are qualified for an RDSP. So going to the next slide, we mentioned the RRSP contribution room. So this is created when you have earned income and you're under the age of 72, because as we said, the RRSP can be contributed into until the end of the year that you turn 71. So each year the government will calculate how much new room you have to be able to contribute money into the RRSP, which is going to be used for your retirement in the future years. So there is a calculation that's done. And if you go to that link, you'll be able to see the calculation that's used by the government to determine how much money that you have room to put money into each year. The Canada Child Benefit will contribute just under $7,000 per year, and it's a tax-free monthly payment that parents can get for children under 6 years of age. They can also get it for children between 6 and 17 years of age, and it's just under $5,900 a year. So quite a substantial amount of money that if you have a child, please look into getting the Canada Child Benefit. The Canada Dental Benefit is fairly new, and this one is dependent on your adjusted family net income. So all of the income within your family on a net income basis has to be under $90,000, and that's a 2021 number, to be eligible to get the Canada Child Benefit, the Canada Dental Benefit. Also, your child cannot already have access to a private dental insurance plan. So if you don't have any dental plan through work, and you do have a child who is 12 years and under 12 years of age, please check that out for potentially being able to get up to that amount, $650. And the CVITP tax filing, now that we're in tax filing season, there are free tax clinics that volunteers work in. It's called the Community Volunteer Income Tax Program. And they will do income tax returns for free for people who have like a modest income and a relatively simple tax situation. So if you have a business and you have like employees, that kind of thing, that wouldn't qualify. It's really more individuals with a relatively straightforward tax situation. And that link is going to take you to the government site where you can take a look and search for a tax clinic that's closest to your location where they will do your taxes for free. So that's a really nice benefit that they offer. And then finally at the bottom there, you'll see a reference, and there's other key benefits. You can go to that link and it's a document that lists a lot of other key ones that we really don't have time to go through today, but definitely take a look there and see if there's anything that you think you might be eligible for. But we will be getting into a little bit later the Benefit Wayfinder, which will make searching for benefits, or at least checking what you already have, very, very easy. So I'm just going to share my screen now, and I'm going to take you through some other free tools that Prosper Canada has that you can have access to take a look at. So I'll just ask my colleagues if you can see the screen okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Very clear.
Okay. Perfect, thank you. So this is our Prosper Canada landing page. So when you go to prospercanada.org, you'll see these 4 boxes down below with information that might be of interest to you. So the first one is more just current information or current news that we are working on. The Benefits Wayfinder, which David will be taking you through a little bit very soon. One called the Trove, and this has a lot of different finance, money-related items on it that you can work through. And then also we have almost like a library, if you will, called the Learning Hub, which has a lot of different timely topics. It's more so, I think, for research, because it has a lot of research type topics, but it does have a lot of toolkits in there. For example, if you're interested in finding out about how to prevent fraud, it has articles like that in there. So I'm going to take a look first at the Learning Hub. And you'll see here on the Learning Hub that, again, there's what's new, kind of what's current that Prosper Canada is involved in, or what's relevant in sort of the financial community. We have Discover, where you can search for articles or topics that you're interested in finance. We have Toolkits, where you can go and actually work through and download PDFs, for example, like creating a budget or setting goals, that sort of thing. And then we also have events. So I'm going to show you very quickly each of these, just because we want to save time for our Benefits Wayfinder. But in the Learning Hub, for example, you'll see on the side here, we have, I think it's over now 1,400 different articles in here. And I've just typed in fraud as an example and searched on it. And you can see here that it brings up many, many different articles related to fraud. And the first one here is fraud prevention toolkits and types of fraud. So if you want to make sure that, you want to understand what's out there today in terms of, scams, and you want to protect yourself, that's a place where you can go and search. Again, you can search for almost anything. There's all these topics here on all different aspects of finance. And when you go into a toolkit, for example, this is a tax filing toolkit. You'll see that it has many, many resources that you can click on. And I just clicked on here, additional information and resources on tax filing. And you can see there's many, many different things that you can do. And one is get ready to do your taxes. And it'll go through and give you like a little step-by-step on what you should be looking at, what kind of documents you need to gather, that sort of information. And then for events, we have conferences that Prosper Canada and our partners have participated in on many different topics relating to money, as well as webinars that we've done in the past that you can access. So if you view there, you'll see the list of all the different webinars that have been done on all the various topics, like debt management solutions as an example, take the stress out of tax filing. So these are all free and can be viewed whenever you like. And then if we go to Trove, so this is at yourtrove.org. And this is a treasure trove of many money topics that might be of interest to you. So we have 3 main topics. Take charge of your spending. This will take you through, again, various different things that you can work. You can download the PDFs, or you can just look at them on screen, walking you through different steps. It'll take you through for budgeting, for example, different ways to make a budget, providing you with templates that you can use, getting more specific in terms of saving goals and long-term goals. So lots and lots of resources there that are all free and that you can use at your leisure. Again, we have a whole section on tax filing and benefits, and then tackling your debt. And it's not only just tackling debt, it's debt management. So everyone's going to have debt of some sort, but this will give you tools and techniques on how best to manage debt and understand how to go about understanding what your credit score is, what is credit history, how do you maintain a good credit rating. So it'll take you through stuff like that. There's also a new course that's been added to this Trove, and it's making the most of your money. And this is free. It's done by module, and you can see here the different topics that are in here. And you can, again, go through that online at your leisure on all these different types of finance topics. So very user-friendly, written in, done in plain language and step-by-step to make it very easy to navigate. And then we have these other tools down below. So again, we mentioned the Benefit Wayfinder we'll show you momentarily. For anyone who does have an RDSP, there's this nice calculator tool that people can use to maximize the savings within that. So if you do know anyone who has a disability and or has an RDSP, this is something you could refer them to. And then this one's really nice. This is My Money in Canada. And this site was designed by newcomers in Canada along with staff, but it's not just for newcomers. I'll just show you that one. This one is a really easy step-by-step way that you can go through your finances and learn about finances. And you can either sign into it and if you register, it's free, but anything that you put into the templates will be saved if you go out and come back in again. You do not have to register. You can always download the PDFs and fill them out, but that's one nice option. And then if we look at the modules, you can see there's a financial wellness checklist. So that'll identify any key topics that you might be interested in and tell you where in here to go to. Learn about the financial system in Canada. How does it work? How do you manage your income and expenses? And that will lead you step by step to create your own budget, which surprisingly, a very small percentage of Canadians do a budget, and everyone really should to know where they are starting from. Walking you through goals and savings, and then again, credit and taxes. So again, a really nice user-friendly way to walk through and document your money situation and set out what kind of goals you'd like to achieve. So now I think I will go back to our presentation, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Benefit Wayfinder, and then David's going to take you through a live demo. Great, thank you, Jenny. So the Benefit Wayfinder tool was designed for people to be able to see in one place, so like a one-stop shop, benefits that they may be able to be eligible for. And the benefits in it are federal, provincial, and territorial government information and benefits. And they will be benefits that either increase income or lower expenses. It was written in a very simple, user-friendly manner, and it can also be used as a virtual guide. If you're interested in finding out about a benefit that you heard about, you can go in and read all about it. It can be used by yourselves individually, but also it can be used if you're helping somebody else to navigate it. And we just want to thank our primary sponsor, TD Ready Commitment, who generously provided the funding for the creation of this tool, as well as support from Feed Opportunity at Maple Leaf. So I'm just going to pass it over now to David. And as he's bringing up the Benefit Wayfinder, we're going to go to the next slide and just describe for you a persona. So we're going to introduce you to Aisha and tell you about her. And David's going to walk through and show you how you can use this tool to find benefits or to check out and make sure that the benefits you are receiving is everything that you could be getting. So Aisha is married. She lives in Ontario. She's the mother of 2 young children, one who has a disability. She's a permanent resident of Canada and is employed part-time, but she is looking for full-time work. Altogether, her household income is under $25,000 per year, but she's not up to date in filing her income taxes. And her main concern is worrying about paying rent and bills, and she might also need to get childcare if she's able to get full-time work in the future. So David, I'll invite you to show the Benefit Wayfinder, and then we'll walk through for Aisha.
You're on mute,
You're on
David.
mute, David.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
It looks good. Thanks, David.
Okay. 1 second. Sorry, let me share my screen one more time. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, looks good.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, everyone. So the Benefit Wayfinder, it's a one-stop center or one-stop shop where Canadians can find a variety of benefits that will be useful to them, government benefits, because basically about 1.8 billion worth of benefits are left on the table every year. So this tool will help you be able to find out not just benefits that you know about that you're receiving, but benefits that you might be able to receive or are eligible for, but you are not aware and you are not getting them. So the tool is used using like 3-4 ways. When you type in the Benefit Wayfinder, it brings you to this landing page, and there are things we call the starting point. So on the starting point, you see various transitions people can be going through in life that will warrant them to need benefits. This is a short way of looking at the benefits or finding what benefits you might require. Somebody might need disability support, or a newcomer that's a migrant, or somebody that just had a child or has just lost a job or needs some medical support. So these are people that might need benefits. And once you come on here, you'll be able to assess benefits. One thing I need to draw your attention to, our personnel today is Aisha, and Aisha is in Ontario. So once you come into the site, it will require you to identify which province you're residing in. So you choose. So because Aisha is from Ontario, I'm going to choose the Ontario province. So what this means is that all the benefits that will be shown to us will be benefits from Ontario, based on where Aisha lives. So like I was saying, you can assess the benefits either through starting points, answer questionnaires, or if you are receiving benefits before, you can. So for instance, if you are already receiving benefits, you can come on here and say, okay, I'm receiving benefits. If, for instance, Aisha is getting the Ontario Disability Support Program and she clicks yes, this will then be a gateway, because certain benefits unlock other benefits, so it will be a gateway to other benefits. If you see here, because Aisha already received the Ontario Disability Support benefit, she will then be able to get these other 7 benefits, So that's one way of looking at it. Then another way of searching for benefits, it's if you're not receiving any benefit, if you come on here and you say you're not receiving any benefit, the tool will generate benefits that that you might be that are very prominent in your location that you might be eligible for, and you can go through and see which ones are applicable to you. But these methods of searching for benefits can be a bit speculative on the tool, to be more target. Then if you're not sure where to start, you can come to the all benefits, and maybe go through all the benefits that are applicable in your region and see which one are applicable to you. But a more tailored way of or a more specialized way of looking for benefits on here is using the questionnaire. The questionnaire will ask a variety of questions, and it can help you get benefits you might think you are looking for and benefits you are not even aware that you are entitled to. So, but we have between 8 to 13 questions that you need to go through, and you don't have to answer all the questions, but the more questions you answer, the more benefits you will get. So right now, we shall use our personnel, Aisha, to walk through the questionnaire, and let's see how many benefits that will come up for Aisha based on the questions that she would answer. Janet, are you ready to play Aisha?
I'm ready. Yes.
Oh, thank you. So, Aisha, are you up to date with your taxes?
No, I haven't filed my taxes.
No worries. Aisha, what's your age like?
I'm just over 30.
Over 30, okay. Aisha, what's your citizenship status in Canada?
I'm a permanent resident of Canada.
Permanent resident, thank you. Aisha, are you working, or where does your income come from, please?
Yes, I'm currently working part-time, but I'm searching for full-time work.
Okay, thank you. Aisha, what's the income? What's the income of your household? Or
We're just
in 1 year?
Yeah, we're
Sorry.
just barely under 25,000.
Under 25, okay. Aisha, including yourself and others in your household, how many do you think you are?
There's 4 of us.
4 of you. All right, thank you. Aisha, do you care for any child under the age of 18?
Yes, I have 2.
2 kids, okay. Yes. Aisha, are you or anyone in your household living with a disability?
Yes, one of my daughters has a disability.
Okay. Aisha, where do you live? I mean, are you renting on social housing, or you own your own home?
We're currently renting, but hopefully in the future,
Awesome.
buy a home.
Okay. So Aisha, are you pregnant, or by any chance expecting?
No.
No. Okay, thank you. Okay, Aisha, since the age of 18, how long have you lived in Canada?
Probably I think 5 to 9 years.
5 to 9 years. Okay, awesome. Aisha, are you, your parents, or your spouse a Canadian veteran?
No.
No. Okay. Aisha, do you have a parent or spouse who lived in Canada and passed away?
No.
No. Okay. So yeah, based on the questions that Aisha has answered, you see, she has 42 recommended benefits. So the next step would be to go to the dashboard. Then on the dashboard, you would see a list of all the benefits that Aisha has been recommended to look into and find out if she or anybody in her household, not just her. So you see the interesting thing, it could be Aisha, it could be her kids, or anything, because you can see that a lot of disability benefits came up, and it's not because Aisha has a disability, but because of somebody in her household has a disability. And possibly when Aisha came on the tool, it could be a housing matter or something else that brought her. But because she has filled the questionnaire, she's able to get, more than enough recommendations as to what benefits she will be entitled to. So how the tool works is each benefit has a mini landing page, and on it you have a quick, like now we have the Canada Learning Board. That's the first benefit that was recommended. You get a brief introduction as to what the benefit is about, and very important, how much you can get. Then thereafter you get what is the ease of application. Like this application now, it's easy, and that means you don't have to take too many steps in order to access the benefit. Then you see this benefit requires tax. You have to have filed your tax. Then also it also tells you what identifications you will need. Then if, for instance, you are not interested in it, you can click on here, to remove it. So when you remove it, it goes away. It goes and it's registered somewhere. Here you can see benefit removed. And if I want the benefit to be returned, I can go on there and it's and I click on it. It comes back. And I can see undo remove, and it's back in my recommendations. It's on there. Then if, for instance, Aisha is interested in the benefit, she just goes into it, and each benefit has an introduction, and very important, each benefit has a link that takes you to the government site, where we got the benefit. So on the government side, you will see how you can apply and other information that you will need. Then also each benefit has the eligibility, so you can see what you need to the eligibility criteria. Then each benefit also has the identification, what identifications that you need to be able to apply. Then each benefit has how to apply. So it's very comprehensive based on what and that's how it works for all the benefits. Then also you can also prioritize what benefit how you will see the benefit when you come back to the tool. So if for instance you say hi, when next you come to the tool, this Canada Learning Board would be top of the list. Then also when you're finished, because we have 42 benefits here, so you might not be able to go through them in one sitting. So you can save, you can either print it out in PDF, or get a PDF copy of it and save into your system, or you can print it out, or you can actually save this URL, that's the link, by sending it to your email. So you can send it to your email, and for instance, I'll send it to my email right now. Let me see. Send it to your email, and thereafter you can assess the benefits. So send it to your email. So this URL is saved in your email. Anytime you want to come back to this particular page and get a list of the benefits that have been recommended for and look through, you just click the URL and it will bring you here. Because after now, you might have to clear your session, and when you come back to the tool, you will not be able to access it. But with the URL, you'll be able to access the particular benefits that were earlier recommended for you. Then if in future, while you're looking at the benefit and you need any support, any kind of support, you can also each province has partner agencies that are listed on the help section. So this help section, you can get a list of partners that you can contact to help you with application, based on what you want. Is it application, questions, any support that you need, you can get it from our partners here. And the good thing that all the partners listed per province would give you services for free. You don't have to pay. All the agencies here work with you free. So at this point, I will pass I'll pass it on to Janet to introduce the benefit, the disability benefit compass. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, David. You are able to see my screen okay with the compass?
Yes, I can see it. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. So this is a companion tool to the Benefit Wayfinder, and it's a deeper dive on the three key federal disability benefits, as well as one provincial or territorial disability benefit, depending on where you live. And the reason this was created was that the disability benefits are that much more complex to apply for. They have many steps. You have to perhaps get multiple medical practitioners to complete part of the form, and just the whole proving or documenting the impact to your daily life is not necessarily easy to do. So we worked with partners in British Columbia and people with disabilities to design this website. And it's similar to the Benefit Wayfinder in that you go to your province or territory and it'll take you there. It's been fully accessibility designed, so it should, be visually and be accessible for anyone using it. And it also has a light and dark mode, which was one of the features that was asked to be included. Just very quickly, so we have a little bit of time for questions. As I mentioned, it has the key benefits in there, and those key benefits are the Canada Pension Plan Disability Benefit, the Disability Tax Credit, and the Registered Disability Savings Plan. And then as you see for Ontario, it's also showing that one main disability benefit in Ontario, the Ontario Disability Support Program. We also have throughout instructions on how to use it, as well as a nice video which describes the benefits that our partners filmed. You'll also see throughout little boxes that have important information to make people be aware before they even get too far into it, what to look out for. And similar to the Benefit Wayfinder, there's the help here that you can find agencies that will help in each province and territory if you have any questions. What's really unique about this one, and I'm just going to go through very quickly the disability tax credit. You can see it looks similar to the Benefit Wayfinder in that it has the introduction and the eligibility and how to apply. But what's different is this one has a step-by-step how to apply. And within each step, it has frequently asked questions that the people who have gone through this process many times have encountered. It has tips on challenges that might pop up in each step and what to do to overcome those, as well as resources. So if we just quickly go to step 1, you can see it's a very user-friendly way to go through the form. So if you yourself, or if anyone that you know, friends or family, are looking into getting disability benefits, please take a look at this. So I'm just going to quickly show you this, where you'll see that there are frequently asked questions at that step. And then if you scroll down, we have what's called resource cards. And these are key things that those who have done this process many times have found to be very helpful. So just very quickly, how to find a nurse or doctor to help you with your form. That was one of the key barriers with disability benefits, is a lot of people don't even have a dedicated doctor to be able to help them assess the impact to their daily living, as well as complete the forms. You can also help your medical practitioner complete the form. So there's tips here from those who have gone before on the wording that can be used to be put onto the form, as well as a really nice tool that one of our partners created, which will walk you through. And at the end, you'll have a nice printout document that you can just hand to your doctor to help them fill out the form. So a lot of really extra information that you will not get if you go to the government site, because this is the value add knowledge of those who have gone before. So I'm going to close now, since we want to leave a little bit more time for questions. And if we go back to our presentation when you get a chance, Jenny, I'll just quickly go through some free training just so we squeeze it in, and then we can do questions. So we have some free online training on financial empowerment foundations. You can click the link and go straight there, and it takes about 2 to 3 hours to complete, and it's a self-directed online learning modules. And you do need to register for it, but as we mentioned, there's no cost. And once you register, you'll have about 6 weeks to complete it. And again, it's written very in really nice, easy to follow language, and I highly recommend that if you'd like to increase your knowledge on the various money topics. And then I'll just quickly pass it back to you, Faith and Obed, on if you want to say a little bit about the TD Bank resources before we open up for questions.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Janet and David, for sharing all these resources with us. I think that's the main purpose of this session today, is to bring awareness to the remarkable resources that Prosper Canada has been able to curate over the years and share it with a wider audience across our networks between Obed and myself. At TD, we also have a number of resources that can help people manage their finances better. We have things like the ABC Money Matters, which helps adults gain financial confidence. We have even resources for new immigrants to help them establish financial footing here in Canada upon arrival. And all of these tools can actually be found by following that link on the screen right now. But we will share this deck with everyone who has registered. We are also recording this session, and we'll be sharing it with everyone who has registered and those who could make it and couldn't make it. So you can always also reach out to myself. I'm domiciled here in the GTA, and Obed looks after everything outside of the GTA, but within Ontario. But we're also going to share the contact information of other regional managers across the country. So depending on your location, please feel free to reach out to them. You can find all of us on LinkedIn, and also you can contact us by telephone or by email.
That's
Obed, I
great.
don't know if you wanted to add something.
I think you said it all. It is very important that if you need any specialized or tailored advice, you reach out to us, because each and every one situation is very different. And so you will be able to come, and then we will sit with you to be able to help you achieve your financial freedom. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be with you today.
And we have contact information as well. You'll see on the final page of the presentation, we have our website. We also have a newsletter that you can sign up for free that gives daily information on different financial topics that are current. There's a link there to our online training, which is almost all free, but there are some paid courses. And then we also have at the bottom there the Benefits Wayfinder at prospercanada.org email, which is a dedicated email that comes to David and myself, and we can answer any questions that you might have as you're working through the Benefits Wayfinder or the Disability Benefits Compass, or any other questions that you might have in relation to tools and resources that we can help you with. So I think we do have a little bit of time if anyone has any questions. One of the questions we do tend to get about the Benefits Wayfinder is, how current is it? Like, do you keep it up to date? And we do have a biannual review of all the content in the entire website to make sure that it is up to date. So when you're going in there, you can rest assured that it's not going to be down level. And same thing with the Disability Benefits Compass, because that's very important that you do have what's current and what you could possibly the kind of dollars you possibly could be getting.
Yeah, Janet, I'm just wondering if people are able to type their questions. If
I think
not,
the chat
maybe.
was disabled.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Jenny,
Actually,
is that something we can do about that?
Mm.
Or maybe if we can get people to raise their hands and then we can unmute them,
Yeah.
so that way we don't get a rowdy house. So if you have a question, maybe you can use the raise your hand tool, and then we can get to you and unmute you.
Oh, Jenny's just noted that the chat should be working.
Working.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so if people have questions, they can put it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
But you might have questions after you get a chance to go in and take a look at all the tools. So like we said, please feel free to forward any questions to us, if you don't have any currently.
Okay. We usually have a 30 seconds rule. If we don't get any questions, then we move on to the next item. So I guess we've come to the point where we wrap it up for the day. So thank you so much again, Janet. Thank you so much again, David, and Jenny behind the scene, who's working very hard to make sure the technology and everything holds up. I also thank my colleague Obed for making the time also to join us, and everyone who was able to make the call today. Really, really appreciate you. Hope you've learned something. Hope you've learned something you can share, with your friends and family. Like I said earlier, the most important thing about this session was to bring to you this organization called Prosper Canada, so that you are aware of them, you are aware of the work they do and the resources that they have that can help you get to your financial goals sooner rather than later. So thank you very much. Leave the final word for you, Janet.
Yeah, thank you both, Faith and Obed, for having David and then Jenny and I join you today, and most importantly, those of you who have attended. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your valuable schedule to hear about the resources that we have available. And if you have, as you work through them, if you have any feedback for improvement, we're always continually improving. We don't we don't kind of make it and then think that's it. So definitely, if there's anything missing that you think would be helpful, please let us know as well. And I think Jenny has asked if there's anything new that you've learned today. Please feel free to put it in the chat. And again, we'll do your 30-second rule. I like that. Okay, I think people are starting to head out. So thank you again, and wish you all